Welcome. Today we're going to make a ladybug. This is a needle felting kit that comes to you from Natural Fiber and Yarn Company in Grand Rapids, Ohio. You can look us up on Facebook. In your needle felting kit, all these supplies come, including this foam board, and you get 2 half of wool felted balls. Behind each one of these is approximately the amount of fiber you need to do that particular step. And you're not making 6 of these. This just shows you each individual step. I'm going to go fairly quickly, but the basic premise is the same on each. So you'll start with a half wool ball. You'll take a fiber, and my advice to beginners is that it usually takes less fiber than what you initially think. So whatever you think is the right amount of fiber, maybe you take half of that. You're going to wrap the fiber around your finger. You're going to slide it off your finger, and you're going to fold the edges in, and then you're going to place it on your wool ball, and you're going to make a few stabs around the fiber to get it to stick, and it's going to end up looking like this. Now I do want to tell you about this needle is that it's very sharp. It's going to plunge into the fiber, and on this needle there's some barbs that go in the opposite direction, so when you pull it out it's going to pull the fibers back. You really don't want to stick yourself with this. It'll be quite painful, so always pay attention to where the end of the needle is. So right now we're needle felting the head on. Make sure that you felt even in the center of the head. And again, I'm going to go quite quickly, but you want to spend a lot of time on this to make sure you get it on there properly. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the eyes to it. Whenever you're doing multiples of anything, I suggest that you get all your fiber ready at once. This will help you be more consistent. So I have my fiber, I divided it into 2 because I'm going to have 2 eyes. I'm going to wrap it around my finger, I'm going to pull it off my finger, I'm going to fold it, I'm going to fold the fuzzies underneath, and then I'm going to place it on my head. You're going to watch the end of that needle, you're going to take about 2 or 3 stabs, and then maybe 4, and then you can let go of it, get your fingers out of the way, and just stab around so that you make a little circle. It's really quite easy once you get used to it. All these strays you're just going to grab and tuck under, and then make sure that you felt in the center of your eye. Again, you're going to spend some time on it. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the white to the eye. This adds a little life to the eyeball. You need very little fiber for this, so I'm going to take even less than I used for the eyeball. You're going to see just a few fibers here, very little. Wrap it around your finger, pull it off your finger, fold it in half, fold the fuzzies under, and then set it on your eyeball. Again, watch where the end of your needle is. Take a couple very precise stabs. I'm adding it right to my eyeball. Then move your thumb out of the way and continue around. And in a very short order, you can have that white of your eye. And again, I've got all these fuzzies. You would spend the time to get rid of all those. When you're done, it's going to look something like this. The next thing we're going to do is add the mouth. The mouth is just a little bit of red, probably about the same amount as you used on the white. Wrap it around your finger, pull it off your finger, fold it in half a couple times, tuck the fuzzies under, stick it right under your eyes. It's going to take a couple stabs, very precise. Watch where the end of your needle is. Make a little circle. And in very short order, you have a cute little mouth on there. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add this little wing detail here. For that, you're going to need not a lot of fiber. And what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to stretch it out just a little. Probably have a little bit too much here. I'm going to stretch it out because I want it to be thinner towards the neck than I do at the back. I'm going to take a couple stabs in here. I'm going to drag my needle down, and very, very quickly you're going to see this create a little triangle. Watch where your needle's poking and where your thumb's at. You need to make sure that you felt on the center of this. I'm going to felt right along the edge here. And again, I would spend a little more time with this. Then you're going to fold this back up on itself so you get a nice clean line there. Continue to reinforce that idea of a triangle or a wingspan back here. And when you're done, it looks like this. The next thing we're going to do are the dots. The dots are probably the funnest part because you can embellish them as much as you want. You're going to wrap it around the finger, roll it into a ball, place it anywhere you want on your ladybug, take a couple little stabs at it, move your finger out of the way, and then start to shape it into a ball. And you'll see this goes really, really quickly, and it's a lot of fun to do. Make sure that you get it in the center a few times, and then when you're done, you'll have all these dots here. The next we're going to do is the antennae. You're going to need a little bit of fiber. We're going to start with needle felting in the center. You're going to want to pick it up from your work surface, turn it over. You're going to want to do that multiple times so that you don't get it stuck to your work surface. And what I'm doing now is I'm making it skinnier in the middle. And you're going to keep doing that until you get it approximately like this. And what I did at this one end is I had all these fuzzies. I rolled them up in a ball, and I started needle felting, and I felted a little ball. And you want to keep doing that until it's got some substance to it. You want it to be able to stand up on its own. And when you're done, your antennae look about like this. In order to attach them, you just set it at the center of your head. You do a couple stabs in, and then you want to just keep needle felting that. You really want it to be attached really well, and you see it stands up really nice. The last thing I'd like you to do is make sure that you finish the bottom of your ladybugs. It's really good practice, and it's just kind of a fun surprise when you flip them over. You can see all the variety of ladybug back there, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial.